Okay, now we'll start motion. Now, as you know, we are doing motion in one dimension. Now we can have motion in one dimension, two dimension, or three dimension. But up to our level now, we will just study motion in one dimension. These two are out of our scope at present. Now, what is this one dimension? Now, when a body is moving in a straight line in a plane, then we say it is one dimension. Means on a plane, sorry, not in a plane, on a plane. Say a car traveling, and even when a body is falling freely under gravity, straight line. So whenever the motion is in a straight line, we say it is motion in one dimension. So that's rectilinear motion also we say. Moving a body moving in a straight line. But if a body moving in a curved path on a plane or a circular path on a plane, then we see it is two dimension. So if it is in a curved path, zigzag, or in a curved path, and when a body is moving in a space, that means in any direction, up, down, left, right, on a space, like a heavenly bodies, not on a plane, but in space, like the movement of the planets, the stars, the asteroids. In that case, we say it's motion in three dimension. But now at present, we will just do motion in one dimension. Okay. Okay, now first we'll talk about distance and displacement. Now what is distance? Distance means the total length traveled by a body. So anybody, whatever distance, whatever length the body is traveling, we say that is the distance. But displacement is the shortest distance from the initial and the final position. And hence we say that the distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. Now, to understand it, say for example, from one place to another place we can go, there can be multiple route. Sometimes we also in our common life we also follow multiple routes for reaching a destination, right? Say suppose somebody have to reach from A to B, but there is no direct. So sometimes we follow some curved path, say curved path, say from your home to school, you are going from different lanes and then main road, and again you are going to the lane. So that means suppose this is 1 kilometer and then 2 kilometer and then from here another 3 kilometer, or say this is 3 and this is again 2 kilometer. Then that means actually we are traveling a distance of 6 kilometer. So you are traveling 6 kilometer. Now it may happen that what happened ki one day you are going to school and there is a traffic jam. So you followed another path, another route. An optional route. And then you have to travel say 10 kilometers. So the first day when you are traveling, if somebody asks you what is the distance that you have traveled, and you will say 6 kilometers for reaching from A to B. But another day when you have taken an alternate route, then you may have traveled more. So that day you have traveled 10 kilometers. So this is the distance between your home and school. If you follow one route, it is 6 kilometers. If you follow another route, it is 10 kilometers. So in that sense, if somebody asks you, what is the distance from your home to school, you may explain to the person that if I follow this route, then it will take 6 kilometers, and if I follow this route, then it will take 10 kilometers. So therefore, distance is a scalar quantity, because it does not depend upon direction. It's just the total length traveled by a body. But displacement is the shortest distance from the initial to final position. Now the shortest distance is this. And suppose somebody is taking the aerial route, helicopter, and from A to B, and that is say 4 kilometers. So this shortest path is called displacement. Now this shortest path has to be in a specific direction. From reaching A to B, you can follow this path or this path. So that's not specific direction. But if you need to reach from A to B with the shortest possible path, then you have to always follow this direction. Shortest path cannot be 2. And hence shortest path is always at a fixed direction. So that means you can understand by looking at a simple diagram here now. Now suppose a person starting from A, now say this is the direction. So the Earth's direction north, south, east, and geographic north, south, east, west. And suppose a person from A travelled east, towards east, 3 kilometers, and reaches to a place B. From B he travelled north and reaches 4 kilometers. After travelling 4 kilometers, reaches to C. Now I can see that the total distance here is 7 kilometers. Now the person may also follow this path, suppose. So now he is travelling 4 and 3, again 7 kilometers. The person may roam here and there and go throughout and then reach C. Now he may take 20 kilometers. So that is also distance. So we say that the distance travelled by this man is 20 kilometers. Because he roamed here and there and then went to a restaurant and then went to a relative house and then he reaches to C. And by travelling 20 kilometers. So this is also distance travelled by the man. So no specific direction, it is just how much somebody is travelling, that total length is called distance. So it does not have any direction, it does not require any direction. But now if somebody instruct the person, you have to go by the shortest possible path. Now when somebody instruct the person to go from A to C with the shortest possible path, and